Well, alrighty then. Sunday, fun day. Gonna do two videos today, and one of them is an album ranking, a band that wasn't around for too long, but they were the epitome of gritty bar rock, good time rock and roll. And there was a whole bunch of bands around that time that were putting out this. They were from England. They had some pretty famous members in there. They were only around from, let me see, I think from 70 to 75, 74, something like that. 70 to 75, and even in the initial year and then the 75, they were kind of gone at that point. And what band, might you be wondering, that is? That band would be The Faces. The Faces, with Kenny Jones on drums, who would later go on to be in The Who, Ronnie Lane, Ian McLaughlin on keyboards, Rod Stewart on lead vocals, and Ron Wood on guitar. And we all know where Ronnie Wood wound up, don't we? Anyway, so they have 4 albums, and then I'll give a brief little overview on a couple other things to that, though. But I'm just listing these albums in my preference, the 4 albums. So what we have here is their last album, Ooh La La. Ooh La La came out in 74. And let me see if it gives a date that it came out. It came out 73, actually. Wow. Ooh La La came out in April of 73. My bad. 73. Ooh La La. Now, it has on here, Cindy Incidentally was the single from that album. It's got some great musicianship, bar rock all the way. It's not a bad album. They don't have a bad album in the canon. I'm just listing my preference. What's amazing, though, is that the flip side of, I'm trying to look where it is. Yeah, they have the flip side of Cindy Incidentally is called Skew-Whiff, which is listed, it's given here on a single, B-sides and rarities, which I'll go over at the end. But here we go, Ooh La La, number 4. Number 3, we've got Long Player. Long Player's got some goods, Bad and Ruin, Tell Everyone, Sweet Lady Mary. They do an excellent cover version of Maybe I'm Amazed. There's a lot of live songs on here. There you go. Number 3. Number 2 was their debut album. Still Under the Small Faces. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so on here we have Wicked Messenger, Shake, Shudder, Flying. That's like one of my favorite songs by them. Just everything on here. It's just a kick-ass album. It's like I said, it's like everything that was going on at that time. When did this album come out? This is their second album. So this came out in 1971. And, oh no, this is their debut. I'm sorry, it came out in 71. But to me, their greatest album was A Nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse. And that would be their 3rd album. This album, Miss Judy's Farm, Just Stay With Me, Debris, they do a cover version of Memphis by Chuck Berry. That's All You Need. This is them kicking on all cylinders right here. This album is number one for me. A nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse. This one right here. This was their third album, and when was this released? I don't know, probably around 72 or something. 72. It's called Small Faces, but I think they're trying to refer to it as First Step here. We'll get to that in a second. I bought this as in a box set because it was just cheaper and it was easier to find everything. Came with this odds, kind of like a Who Odds and Sods, B-sides and live recordings. This one is a bonus disc. But what I wanted to get into is that this companion piece, The Small Faces, okay? 3 albums, another English band, was the primary makeup of the Faces. Except they had Steve Marriott on vocals, who later went on to Humble Pie with Peter Frampton. So also at that same time, you had Rod Stewart putting out like amazing songs: Maggie May, Mandolin Wind, I Know I'm Losing You, just great stuff. You Wear It Well, kicking on all cylinders. It was around the same time, Exile on Main Street, Sticky Fingers, The Faces. It was that bar rock. But anyway, as I go, this was my number one album by The Faces. A Look as Good as a Wink to a Blind Horse, okay? And then we got their eponymous debut, Small Faces, or One Step, First Step. However you want to look at it. And then you have Long Player, which is actually their second album. And then their last album, Ooh La La. And then, their B-sides. Their final single that I think they released was, when was this single released? It was January 22nd, 1975, but they were already well gone by then. I think, what's his name? Ron Wood was already auditioning for the Stones at that point. And Rod Stewart was well on to his solo career. So, what we have here was this song, and it's called You Can Make Me Dance, Sing, or Anything. And then in parentheses, they have even take the dog for a walk, mend a fuse, fold away the ironing board, or any other domestic shortcomings. Is that like the longest single in name in history? Hilarious. Good song, though. But there you go. The Faces, box set. Go get it. This is good. Good stuff. 4 albums, 4 classic albums, bonus 5th disc with some B-sides. Excuse my sniffling. I was blowing out the garage. It was rather dusty. But anyway, so there you go. And then, like I said, on the sidebar, the Faces came from this band, the Small Faces. And then, of course, you had Rod Stewart. I also wish I had Jeff Beck Truth to throw that in the mix, too. Because all it did, it's just all they were, everybody was just firing away with the rock and roll at that point. But anyway, there you go. The Faces, ranking the albums. Leave your comments below.